the biggest problem Proof has with this figure. There are so many other better figures of her. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven, bringing you your weekly figure news fix, this time around 17th to 22nd of February 2025. For me, this is a pretty boring week, not too many new figures, both on the genuine and third-party side, though we have a few Azur Lane stuff and also League of Legends. On the genuine side, third parties, nothing too interesting. Starting off with genuine anime figures, making use of Hobby Link Japan as usual. This is a pretty random one. 1x4 skill Hayore Nyaruko-san W, that is the season 2 by the way. Nyaruko Barrel Bunny version for only 27,000 yen, July release 2025, very soon actually. How many of you are old enough to remember this anime by the way? This was a comedy series, and in a way there were a lot of references and parodies if you could recognize them. It is a fun show that I can recommend if you have some time to waste. I watched it back in college. And this is a pretty old bunny figure to re-release today without the stockings, so it felt very random to me. Yeah, but 27,000 yen is a decent price for 1x4 scale by freeing, so pick one up if you like her. Moving on to the next one here, 1x6 scale territory. I feel like I have covered this figure before. I think maybe AmiAmi put her on pre-order like a month or 2 months ago, and now finally HLJ is listing the very same figure on pre-order, where this volleyball club Honoka Tobise figure by Mimic, a Chinese brand, at 21,400 yen, has a very nice backside which I couldn't put on screen unfortunately. Now, this is a very new brand that we know almost nothing at the moment. I don't think there are any figures by them already released yet. I don't think so. However, most Chinese brands, they turn out pretty fine, and I don't think you have to worry about the QC part, right? Just that this really is all down to whether you like the character design or not. Yeah, at least that backside over there is worth slapping. If it was a real person, of course. Okay, moving on to the next one over here. I believe this was shown in One Fest, right? I think it was. So, Freeing's 1x6 scale, Shikanoko Nokonoko for 20,000 yen, October release. Is it overpriced? I think it is. When I look at the whole big picture over here, this is just a JK figure, isn't it? Just school uniform and nothing much. This is a very plain figure. This could have been 15,000 yen, 16,000 yen if done by a high quality Chinese brand like Hobby Sakura, for example. If done by a lower budget anime figure brand like Animaster, this could have been under 10,000 yen. So 20k is overpriced, but we are talking about freeing over here. Is anyone surprised at this point? I don't think so. This has to be her very first scale figure. I don't think there are any licensed scale figures of her yet. But for third parties, I think there are some joke figures of her out there. Yep. Okay, so this really depends on how much you like her. But this Brain Rot anime, despite the popularity she got when anime aired because of the opening theme song, I still couldn't bring myself to like the anime. I think I stopped watching it at around episode 3, episode 4 or so, because I feel like my brains could stop functioning any second the more I watch it. Yeah, I mean, I love very funny anime. I love comedy stuff. I'm a big fan of Konosuba, for example. But the kind of humor that this anime is presenting us with, I'm not sure if I like it. Purely subjective, I know that. Moving on to the next one over here. Now we go into 1x7 skill territory. Starting off with Azur Lane, we have Cursed Reverend Runner by Alice Glint. This was displayed in One Fest, and the pricing is actually very reasonable, 22,500 yen, December release. I believe in my One Fest video, I predicted under 25,000 yen, isn't it? I said 22-23k, at most 25, and my prediction is spot on depending on whether you include the Japanese tax or not. Like, if you include the 10% tax, then yes, this is very close to 25k. So my prediction was spot on. As for whether you should get it, yeah, if you like her, go ahead and pre-order it. This is not a bad price at all. And I want that gut reel to be way longer. In fact, I would buy a dozen of it. Alice Glint, their figures are fine. Don't worry about their QC, so pick one up if you like her. Moving on to the next Azur Lane figure here by Nin-Nin-Game, Chinese figure brand. We have a 1/6 scale. That is French, right? How do you pronounce that name? We shall look how to pronounce that. Fluron of the Waves version. 26,000 yen, January 2026 release. Okay, so the thing with Nin-Nin-Game is that their figures are fine. They are not the most detailed stuff out there. And a lot of their Azur Lane figures are big and reasonable. I wouldn't say cheap, but reasonable. Most, if not all, of the Azur Lane figures are at 1/6 scale and they cost between 20 plus to 25k. This one is a little bit more expensive, maybe because of the amount of props or accessories she's coming with. But most of their figures are around 20,000 yen. I believe their Tai-Ho in that long white dress is only around 20,000 yen, and that is a 1/6. So Nin-Nin-Game gives you a little bit of value given the size you're getting. So this could be a very good pre-order. In fact, if you are collecting 1/6 scale Azur Lane figures, because 1/7 is too small to you somehow, then you will want to take a look at Nin-Nin-Game and commit to the entire line of Azur Lane figures. Yep. Of course, if you go to Taobao, if you get this figure from Taobao, there is a likelihood where you can get her for a little bit cheaper because Chinese brand figures tend to be a little bit cheaper in China. Yeah. Okay, as for the rest of the figure, this is your generic swimsuit figure, but at least she is unique in her own way. Very nice swimsuit over there. Yeah, looks pretty cool for a swimsuit figure. Reminds me of Tamamo a bit, the one by Kotobukiya. Moving on to the next figure over here. From Apex Toys, we have a 1/7 scale League of Legends KDA All Out Kaisa. 18,000 yen only, releasing this November. You know, once again, let me refer back to my Wonder Festival coverage video. And specifically, 35 minutes and 42 seconds in, I said that most LOL figures by Apex Toys are quite affordable, between 16,000 to 18,000 yen price range, and once again, I was spot on with my price prediction. This is 18k. Granted, that is without the Japanese tax. With tax, it is 20k. But once again, we are looking at the Chinese brand. Head over to Taobao and she might be a little bit cheaper if... Of course, obviously, if you are able to read Chinese and you prefer to order it there. Otherwise, even the Japanese price of 18k is very reasonable. So far, I don't play this game, and I don't think I intend to collect any LOL figures, but I would love to at least get one or two of these figures and review them someday. Just too poor to afford everything that I want, obviously. And Apex Toys, it is not like I haven't reviewed their figure before. I reviewed so many of the figures already. So you can feel assured that this figure is going to turn out excellent in every way. Yeah. Apex Toys is already joining the top tier figure brands out there alongside Good Smile, Outer, and so on in terms of how good their paintwork is. Moving on to the next figure over here, Atelier Ryza, we have another Razor Lane Stout night clothes version by Proof, where we are getting a very generous discount over here, down from 20,000 yen, 17,800 yen, releasing this July. So how many months away? 4 or 5 months away. I'm a little bit concerned because Proof is a bit of a hit or miss in terms of their quality control, and they do screw up the face of a select few of their figures. I know this sounds like me fear-mongering, but I'm just sharing what I have seen from them in the past year or so, and I just can't help but feeling like bringing up their Marin Kitagawa over and over. Yeah, where it has bargain bins very badly in Taobao in China, you can get their Marin Kitagawa for a little bit around 550 Chinese yuan. Yep, because nobody wanted it. This Ryza, I have also heard complaints from some of you in my Discord server where you said this is not worth 200, like 150 or 200 US dollars, I think. I think you said $200, right? So over at HLJ over here, this is closer to 140 or 150 US dollars, right? So I would say that while this is far from the best Ryza figure, I think it is not too bad looking. But yeah, I mean, if you are saving up $200 for a Ryza figure, go for something else. Why would you pre-order this one? And that is the biggest problem Proof has with this figure. There are so many other better figures of her, right? The competition is very stiff with this character. This feels a bit like a slightly better price figure, don't you think? Yeah, the outfit is not particularly detailed, especially with their choice of nightwear. If they went for the game design, right, the default outfit she wears in the game or anime, then maybe the character will look a lot more detailed and more desirable. So I would say that even with the discounted price over here, 18,000 yen, this is not a very good pre-order. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here, a re-release of My Little Pony Applejack Bishoujo statue by Kotobukiya, only 16,000 yen, coming out this August. Man, this feels so traditional American to me. Like, I feel like I'm looking at a cowboy or cowgirl straight out of Texas with a revolver, not included over here. For those of you who love your little ponies for some reason, I heard that it... not like I heard that. This thing is supposed to be something for children, but somehow it is the adults who are the biggest fans of this series, right? Otherwise, I don't really have much to say. Kotobukiya figures are great value buys in general as long you like the character. Okay, moving up to the next one here. Coming from Belfine, this is also from One Fest, I believe. 1x7 scale Summer Pockets Reflection Blue Shiroha Naruse. From 22,700 yen down to 21k. Small discount over there. But even with this discount, yes, I'm quite predictable, right? I'm going to call this overpriced again. Yes. Belfine, maybe because not my opinion about Belfine is not very good to begin with. I mean, nowadays they have improved a lot compared to just 5 years ago. But generic art figure, yeah, JK figure in a way, just that her uniform design is quite different, and this is over 21,000 yen. Quite hard to justify the asking price if you ask my opinion. Just that I have no idea how popular this character is or the artist behind this character over here. If the artist is anything like Rudo or Tamano Kedama, then I wouldn't be surprised if this thing sells out and becomes expensive, but I can't say for sure what to predict about this figure when I know nothing about the artist behind this character. This reminds me of one anime from so many years ago, I can't remember the title anymore. Yeah, the face looks quite similar. Anyways, this is not interesting at all. Let's move on to the next scale figure over here. 1x8 scale, Elaine Auclair from The Legend of Heroes by Kotobukiya, 20,000 yen, September release. Yeah, the Legend of Heroes figures are slightly more expensive than Kotobukiya's average. And since all previous figures under this line, they were all 1x8 scale, so now they stick to 1x8, which is quite a shame to be honest. This should have been 1x7. Nowadays, I feel like 1x8 is a little bit too small, yeah. But this is a nice figure otherwise. You know, it almost feels like I'm looking at her nips being exposed, but those are buttons on her chest. Just that the button placement is very convenient. Interestingly, I think other characters from this line are also getting re-released, right? I like the color scheme so much. What's that color called? That turquoise, not exactly turquoise, together with her hair color, is like very harmonious, very nice combination of colors over there. I actually like the figure quite a bit, just that I don't collect anything from this game. Moving up next, the brand Plex, they make a lot of Dragon Ball stuff. So this is Dragon Ball Arise, Yajirobe and Korin, 25,000 yen. And if these figures were small, 25k would be pretty overpriced. So I have to assume that this is a giant figure, like they look bigger than what these pictures suggest. Is there any... Okay, as usual, HLJ doesn't tell us about the dimensions of the figure. With Dragon Ball, guess what? There are so many third parties out there. Check those out, right? In case this is not something you like. Yeah, otherwise I don't have much comments on this one. Moving on to the next one here. Now we go into low budget figure territory. First up, From One Hobby as well, or Wonder Festival. We have pop-up rate SP Satsuki Kyurin from Kill la Kill. By Good Smile, 8,900 yen before discounts. This is a 500 yen price cut. It's a bit cheaper than I was expecting because pop-up rate SP are usually around 10,000 yen, 10 to 12,000 yen. So this is a little bit cheaper than I expected, and she looks pretty good. I still remember the Fat Company versions of these characters from this anime over here. They are very rare and expensive now, the scale figures. And I think they are getting re-released, right? Yeah. Should you pre-order it? I'm leaning towards a yes. Yeah. So most of the time I tell you guys to avoid pre-ordering pop-up rates early, but given how popular this series is and how Fat Company's scale figures of them became pretty rare after release, maybe pre-order this one early if you like her. This looks pretty good, but as is the case with pop-up rates, they tend to be pretty misleading, the product photos at least, where the actual figure does not look as good. But we are talking about pop-up rate SP over here, not the standard one. So maybe this will be pretty decent. Yeah, because pop-up rate L, which is the closest I can compare to pop-up rate SP, they tend to be quite decent for the asking price. Moving up next, we have a pop-up rate L size of Elsa Grindheart from ReZero, 8,000 yen before discounts, September release. So with this specific character, there was at least one scale figure of her. I'm not sure how rare or common it is. And it was made by one of the lower tier scale figure brands. Was it Belfine or Palcra or Di Molto Bene? Something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, it wasn't very good, the scale figure itself. In fact, I remember the scale figure's face was pretty questionable back then. So I would rather you pre-order this one rather than looking for that scale figure which was more expensive. This looks like a better buy for once. A pop-up rate L turns out to be better than a scale figure. My only concern is the purple color stripes on her dress, how accurate the painting will be, but this is an L size. Maybe it won't be as bad as the normal pop-up rate in terms of paint bleeding. Yeah. Not a bad buy at all. Moving on to the next pop-up rate L, we have Grace Aubergine from Bureaucrat to Villainous. Okay, this is a seasonal anime that is currently airing that I'm not watching, and I don't think I will be watching it at all. Third rate isekai once again. You know, some helpless, weak, normal guy who was a loser back in the original human world, and then they get reincarnated into this new isekai, and then suddenly they become overpowered, possibly even getting a harem. This trope that is being repeated thousands of times over in every isekai I've seen the past few years, it is truly annoying, right? Like, there is no originality anymore. Granted, this is a female character, which means we won't have a harem, reverse harem, I don't know. And the dude who was reincarnated into this ho-ho-ho woman over here, I think it is like a 50-year-old bald uncle of some kind. Yeah, a bit different, but still the isekai trope is still all over the place, so I won't watch it. This is from Good Smile, and being an L-size figure, it is going to be quite decent. So as long as you like the character, you like the anime, then maybe pick one up. But this is seasonal stuff, which means I don't see this figure becoming rare and expensive after release. You should wait until after release. Yeah. Maybe you can get a small discount over at AmiAmi, for example, or their sales section. Who knows, right? Moving on to the next one here. The next two figures are by Mick, M-I-C. They have been around for a long time and they do a lot of slam dunk figures. So we have Ryota Miyagi from One and Only Slam Dunk, 5,000 yen, and also, yeah, the main character here, Hanamichi Sakuragi, for the same price. March release. I don't think HLG is letting us know the dimensions. Yep, as usual. This should be close to pop-up rate scale. I mean, the price is a giveaway over here. Same thing with Slam Dunk and Dragon Ball, that, like I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of third-party stuff out there, so do check those out. If you want to support licensed stuff, obviously, pre-order these or purchase these, but there are a lot of nice stuff in the third parties for something more mainstream, right? Like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Slam Dunk, and so on. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this is just a quick mention because I personally am not interested in Berserk 43 Special Edition with Zod Bust figure by Haku Sensha, 8,800 yen. Berserk, right? Not my kind of thing. And the last figure here on HLJ, Demon Lord Mara from Shin Megami Tensei, re-released by freaking 50,000 yen. Looks like a dickhead, isn't it? I'm just gonna say that. 50,000 yen. Damn. And the fact that this is a re-release, it means that this thing actually sold well enough to warrant a re-release. People actually are buying this thing. Okay, now we move on to AmiAmi for exclusive stuff. The first one here, Uma Musume Pretty Derby Travel Grand. Yeah, this was displayed in One Fest. 27,000 yen, December 2025 release. So predictable. My One Fest video, I said, yeah, Uma Musume figures by Fat Company are 25 to 27,000 yen figures with an AmiAmi exclusive label on it. So this looks very nice for a Fat Company figure, as long they don't screw up the paintwork. No, they have excellent sculpt. Fat Company's sculpt has always been top tier. Just that the final cherry on the top, the final piece of the puzzle, which is the paintwork, the final layer of everything that they couldn't seem to get it right from time to time. But if they could get their Uma Musume figures right, regardless of which character, they get it right for every character, I will tell anyone to go and buy them as long as they don't mind the relatively high asking price. Because this is definitely very expensive, borderlining on overpriced even. Yeah, for a 1x7 scale figure with nothing much going on other than a cape behind her. This is pretty overpriced actually. The next AmiAmi exclusive, oh! My washboard is right there, the same one I used for my figure haul video a few days ago. I should have brought that in. So from Azur Lane, we have Asanagi Loud by the Rough Seas, 1x7 scale by Fat Company, 27k again. December 2025 release. Yes, a bit on the overpriced side once again because this is a micro bikini figure, a very simple figure. At least we do get a KFC over there. They are not showing us what base we're getting. Please give us a diorama base, man. At this price, give me a sand base, like very similar to the one I got with Roxy over there. Repurpose the very same base but improve on the quality because the Roxy's base wasn't very nice. Yeah, this is a very nice figure, and because this is not a very detailed figure in terms of the outfit design, I wouldn't expect Fat Company to mess up the paintwork, right? So it is a case-by-case basis. Something like this, I wouldn't be too worried. I would pre-order it if I like it. Yeah. Moving up next, we have this figure over here, which is not an AmiAmi exclusive unless you want their bonus over there. There is a regular version for only 21,000 yen, and that is a very generous discount from AmiAmi. 3,400 yen of discount. I think even when HLJ list this figure later on next week, they couldn't get the price down as low as AmiAmi over here. So for this specific figure, you might want to get in on AmiAmi instead. Coming from I'm Living with an Otaku Knit Kunoichi, Shizuri Ideura at 1x6 scale at just 21k for the standard version, or the AmiAmi bonus is 23,500 yen. Okay, so this is a seasonal anime that is currently airing. Around 6 or 7 episodes in by now. I tried one episode. I think there is a little bit of fan service, but I'm not feeling it. I used to watch a lot of anime. Nowadays, I'm a little bit more picky because there are so many trash anime nowadays, and my time is a lot more precious. Yeah. Regardless, if you like the character design over here or you loved the anime for any reason, then this could be a very nice purchase. Hakoiwi Musume is known for good value, right? Japanese brand, not Chinese, Japanese brand. And until today, I still remember their Chizuru figure from Rent a Girlfriend, where it came with a diorama, a bathroom diorama for only around 25,000 yen at 1x6 scale, by the way. So I'm not sure how Hakoiwi Musume is able to give us such a competitive price compared to many other Japanese brands, but I'm all for it. I mean, competition that results in driving down prices for everyone is always a good thing. Right, moving on to the next one. Okay, before I move on to the next one, this is something I just mentioned earlier today on Friday. AmiAmi has removed the age-restricted section from their homepage over here. So you need to click on this button over here, show all categories, and then you scroll all the way down on the right column over here. Age restricted products. Yeah, there we go. It is right here. So they are no longer on the homepage. I'm not sure why. I can only guess that they are troublemakers and too many sensitive people out there. So they removed it from the front page to avoid attracting any attention. So for the adult section this week, we only have one single scale figure from binding. 1x4, 1x6. So 1x6 scale figures now cost 33,000 yen. You know, when I saw the number start with a 3 and it is a black bunny suit, I told myself, this has to be 1x4. It is like an immediate assumption I made in my brain. But this figure can be displayed half hadaka with only the oppai exposed, or you can completely strip her down. So there are probably multiple extra parts in the box, resulting in this price of 33,000 yen over here. Just go through the pictures yourself. I couldn't show them on screen. If you think that is reasonable, then yeah, go ahead and pre-order it, because binding stuff, well, they are a little bit better than freeing, but I would still regard them as on the overpriced side of things. Yeah, but at least you get to undress them, right? So this is Yuki Terumi 1x6 scale, 33K September 2025 release. Yeah, in the end, just a black bunny in Asian toilet squat pose, which some people find to be very appealing for some reason. Yeah. Okay, moving on to Nin-Nin-Game for our last stop for genuine licensed anime figures. Starting off the first one over here, coming from Forge Japan, the Safe for Work version of Insight figures by Beeful. This is Tentacle Subjugation Failure Record. Wow. Private Magic School, second year class B. Very specific. Celia at 1x5 scale, 22,000 yen, releasing in August. Okay. So this is all you get. You can't cast off the figure. You couldn't do that to PMMA figures. But if you want the slightly edgy version, it is made by Insight at the same price, releasing in August as well, where her pansu is being lifted up. So you get to see that tiny pink slit over there, which people seem to care so much about. Yeah, so of course, if I were to get this figure, I would get the not safe for work version, obviously. Okay, moving on to the next one here. We have two versions of this figure, different colors actually. This is the white hair version, Kurogiri Himmel 1x5 scale, 22,000 yen, also August release. Yep. And here is a black hair version for the same price and release date. I think the white hair version is a lot nicer because of color contrast, you know. Her dress is already black color, then I want some other color for her hair. And yeah, the skirt she lifted over there, there is no pun underneath. And moving on to the last one by Insight this week, I actually posted the full pictures in my Discord, so you can check it out over there or head over to Nin-Nin-Game to check out the pictures over here. Nishizawa-san after gym class 1x5 scale. This is about 23,000 yen, I think, at $159, releasing in August as well. You know what? The face is very nice. I like the face a lot. Just that I don't trust this brand at all. Yeah. And that is all for genuine anime figures on pre-order this week. Moving on to third parties making use of OzGK, which is our affiliate partner for third-party resin figures. We have quite a few new figures this week. And starting off with Anya as usual. Apparently, Chinese New Year is not yet over. I mean... Yeah, coming from Goods Studio, we have Auspicious Anya, $98 at 1x6 scale, no release date yet. But I think something like this will be out within 6 months. Yeah. Nothing too special, to be honest. Well, you might have missed Chinese New Year with this figure, but you could go for Mid-Autumn Festival, right? Because she is holding a lantern over there. Yeah, I think Mid-Autumn Festival is around September. Hopefully she comes out by that. Moving on to the next Anya figure from FBI Studio. FBI. Anya Forger cosplaying as Neja. Starting from $99, and then there is this Pig Bear plus Anya Forger. Okay, the small item over here for $116, releasing in no release date again. Anyways, I did not know what is this Neja thing until I saw it in the news where it is like the highest grossing film in China or something, or even in the world when it comes to animated series. Was that the case? I'm not sure about the specifics, but I heard this movie did very well at the box office. And yeah, that is great for them, you know. Disney, Pixar as well, and Hollywood, they need to be taught a lesson with, yeah, their cultural appropriation, their woke stuff over there. And then every time I see a film coming out from China or Korea or anywhere else outside of the US doing very well, I'm happy for them. Yeah, because nowadays Hollywood is not doing very well, I think. They need to be taught a lesson. So good for them that Neja is doing well, very well, in fact, in the box office. Though I don't plan on watching it. Like, it is not my kind of animation. The family safe, suitable for all ages CGI cartoons, not my kind of thing. Okay, moving on to the next Anya figure over here. We have Anya cosplaying as Minato by ZH Studio. This studio does a lot of Anya figures. Okay, and this one starts at... Okay, all of them are $109. We have this pink hair, Minato face, and then Anya face. Of course, I would go for this face expression, something special. Anya's smile is so universal at this point, it no longer feels special anymore. And then golden hair, Minato face, and Anya face. I think golden hair with this face would be the nicest, right? Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next Anya figure, because we don't have enough Anya figures. Another one here cosplaying Uchiha Itachi. This looks very badass. And CR Studio has a very good track record with Anya figures. So feel free to pre-order it if you like this one. This is very nice. And between pink hair and black hair, this is a little bit of a tougher choice, because both of them look just as good to me. I'm not sure which one I would choose. Yeah. Even with black hair, I can still tell that that is Anya, very recognizable, it is her. So this is a tough choice for sure, but both just look as good. Moving up next, from Jack's Do Studio, we have One Piece Pop Max Yamato Special Effects Accessories. Oh, no wonder it is so cheap at $92. This is for the base and all of the special effects only, not for the main figure, unfortunately. Though the figure should be sold separately, I think. So with Jack's Do Studio, what you need to know is that... So what you need to know about Jack's Do Studio is that they have an official Taobao store. And I have bought their accessories before, their diorama parts, right? To use it for figure photography. Those are great actually, and they are not too expensive. They are known for making accessories actually, for many action figures out there. Well, this is just for the base. Alright, moving on to the next One Piece figure over here. This is an early bird pre-order. We don't have a price yet. From AS Studio, we have Boa Hancock again. And there are at least 3 versions over here, 3 different colors. I would always default to purple color, violet. That is like a trademark color, right, for Boa Hancock. So this will be a 1/7 scale. So my price prediction would be anywhere between $150 to $200. But if this falls under $150 even, I wouldn't be surprised. Yup. Okay, let's have a quick look at the face. Okay, the face looks good. No complaints over here. That is Boa Hancock for sure. Moving on to the next one, we have 2 Ray anime figures. The first one is by Moonlit Studio, school uniform version, $144 at 1/6 scale, coming out in September, and this is pretty generic, you know. $144 can buy you a very nice, genuine PVC figure that looks more detailed than this. So I'm not sure about this one really. This is for the most hardcore Eva fans, I suppose. The next one over here is a lot more attractive in my opinion, the body curves, right? Okay, so this is by the Summer Pants Studio. Schoolgirl Ray anime. This is not schoolgirl. This is more like a sweater, I think, or casual outfit. But anyways, $185 at 1/6 scale, I think. December release. 31.5 cm, yep, 1/6 scale. A little bit bigger than 1/6 actually. Okay, so the art style over here is a little bit different. This is closer to old school art style, the 1990s Evangelion. Yeah, it is based on the older art style, but still looks very nice. Oh, 1/6 scale. The reason why she is over 30 cm is because of the base. Okay. Oh, The body curves are so nice, but it is quite a shame that I don't think we can cast this off. No signs at all because China no longer allows it. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have two 1x4 scales over here. Both are licensed resin figures. Original character Oiran Higan from Gravity Toys, $534, releasing this December. It looks amazing for sure. Not the kind of thing I collect. Very pretty. This reminds me of a photograph I saw in Facebook, about this father and daughter photograph where the daughter of a Yakuza father, I think. And yes, the tattoos over there reminds me of what I saw in that photograph. It looks pretty, but at the same time, it feels menacing at the same time. Yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting. And this is a beautiful figure with a lot of details. If you like this kind of thing, then maybe pre-order it. If I were to get myself a nice 1x4 scale, I think I'm leaning towards stuff like, 2B from Nier Automata, instead of a random character that I know nothing about. Moving up next, try Eagles Studio. Okay, so this studio, their staff do show up in HLJ and AmiAmi, usually a week or two later. Coming from Path to Nowhere, a mobile game apparently. This is Kokelik at 1x4 scale, $577. December release. Actually, under $600 price, right? For a licensed resin statue that is not an original character, which means they have to pay for the licensing cost, is actually pretty reasonable because resin stuff are not cheap to begin with, and a lot of third parties unlicensed stuff at 1x4 scale, they already cost $500 to begin with. Nice face, but that is about it. I know nothing about this character. Very beautiful figure, but this is going to take up a lot of space. That is the problem with lying pose figures in general. Moving on to the next one, DGZW Studio Original Singer. This feels like that Mei Mei guitar figure that I've seen before by licensed anime figure brands. In fact, I'm quite certain it is the same character. Okay. It is licensed, so not an issue over here. What is the dimensions at $322? What is the dimensions? 41 cm. This is a 1x4 scale. Okay. 1x4 scale at $322 is actually very good. Very good price. Not something I would buy, but this is not bad at all given asking price. Moving up next from Model Power Studio, we have Attack on Titan Episode 6 Extra Episode Attack on the School Class Mikasa. So did Mikasa dress up like this in some special episode? I have no idea because based on this picture alone of this figure, this is not Mikasa to me. Okay, so we don't have a price yet. Scale appears to be 1x6 scale, probably 250. Yeah, with the base over here, 250 to 300. It better not exceed 250. Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing some resemblance to Mikasa now. Maybe this is actually based on something in the anime, right? I haven't gone beyond season 2 yet of Attack of Titans, okay? Yeah, I haven't gone beyond that yet. And given how good it is of a series that everyone is hyping it up, I think I wouldn't be able to withstand the wait for the final season. Like they keep saying there is a final season, but then it's not yet finished. So I'm hoping and waiting for the series to actually finish before I binge all of it. Yeah. I'm definitely seeing some resemblance to Mikasa now. Okay. But Mikasa, we already have a number of very nice scale figures from genuine brands, just that they're not very easy to find nowadays, unfortunately. Moving on to the next one, we have one single Genshin Impact figure this week. Realistic face, Yae Miko from Mi Studio. $135 only, very cheap. Releasing in, okay, no release date again. Just when I thought third-party brands are done with Genshin Impact, and especially Yae Miko, because there are so many of them, here we have another one. Well, all of the cultured ones, if you wanted one, you would have one on your shelf by now, right? I mean, in the past few years, there's so many of them. So, this is difficult to recommend for sure. Yeah. Don't count on your hopes of finding the older releases with all of the edgy parts for cheap, right? People are hunting those down, given that they are no longer allowed to be sold, and that could only mean the prices will keep going up, regardless of whether the figure turns out to be good or not. Yeah. Moving on to the next one over here, from Honkai Star Rail, we have Seal by Yi Hao Studio. This is an early bird pre-order. We don't have a price yet. I'm also predicting around $250. Maybe could be cheaper. Maybe 210, 220, who knows? 1/6 scale. Okay, let's have a look at the face. Wait, is this Seal? So, does this look like the actual character? I'm not too sure. I'm more attracted to the outfit. The outfit looks very nice, very detailed. And the color gradients over here, I love it so much. Yes, this may be purple hair waifu, but I'm not so sure about the face. We need more pictures, right? This is like a single picture. We need more different angles so that I can see clearer. Seal. I think there's a genuine figure of her by Apex, right? I think she comes as a pair with the other character. Yeah. Moving on to the next one, Honkai Impacted. We have Kiana again, $146 by Barney Studio. Oh, 1/6. This is not 1/4. That is a typo by OzGK, because when you scroll down over here, the dimensions is 33 centimeters in height. That is 1/6. And with Kiana, you know what? Get the one by Alter or even by Apex Toys, and you will be a very happy person. Hell, get both. Right? If you already have both, then maybe you think about this one, but this shouldn't be your first Kiana figure at all. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here. This is probably the best third party this week. Yeah. From Blue Archive, we have Arona, A-R, not A-L. Arona and Plana, New Year Cheongsam by Moe Sugar Studio. You can buy either one or take a set at $304, which you really should, because they are meant to be a pair, as you can see from their post over here. Right? Okay, and once again, no, I don't think this is cast off at all. No longer a thing unless for a rare few anime figure brands where they managed to move out of China, presumably. Regardless of that, this looks very nice for sure. I mean, imagine if you only have either one. You only bought one. Yeah, it feels incomplete to me. This is a third party this week that I can actually recommend you guys picking one up. Moving on to the last figure for this week. This is also a very good one. From Fixed Cast Studio, we have Clay from Goddess of Victory Nikke. $185 at 1/6 scale. Reasonable. Releasing in December 2025. I think, was it Flare, right? Flare announced a number of Nikke figures in this same exact cheerleader outfit, but was Clay announced? I can't remember. Was Clay a part of the 2 or 3 figures they announced? Yeah, I can't remember anymore. If there is a Clay figure from Flare, then this one becomes a lot less attractive. Or if this figure is actually cast off, which I don't think it is, then there would be a reason to get this one, because the face on this Clay figure looks very nice actually. Yeah. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which one will you pre-order? Let me know down in the comments below. For me, the main highlight on the genuine side has to be that KDA figure. Yeah, by Apex Toys, and also maybe that Azur Lane figure by Alice Glint. Yeah, the one where she's leaning against the guardrail. Well, the 2 AmiAmi exclusives is not too bad either, especially the Uma Musume figure, but yeah. Those are the 3 main highlights. For third parties, I would say the best this week is that Arona and Plana figure earlier. Yeah. So if you found this video helpful or informative, please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, and help this channel grow. Once again, please do join my Discord server if you haven't done so, and check out my Patreon if you feel like supporting this channel in any way you can. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.